Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today is hashtag Emma's for Mondays. And since it is March 24th, we are doing mysteries, and mysteries are anything that doesn't start with an M because we do masterboards, we do mixed media, we do mask making, which really could be anything that's doesn't start with an M, but mystery. So, what is your mystery? Doesn't have to be mystery like Sherlock Holmes mystery. It's just another creation, guys. That's all it is. And next week is blank. Whatever M words, if you want to do something with metal or maps or something like that, or a mashup between two things. Yeah. So what I have planned for today is I'm going to make some paper flowers. These are paper flowers that were created. I learned how to create these from Pam at the Paper Outpost. And so I'm going to use book pages. These are just pages that I took out of a book that took all the pages out of. And I got my circle punch. This is a 2.5 inch one. You could go smaller, but this may seem big, but you're going to curl up the edges and whatnot. So you need something a little bit bigger so you still have, a nice embellishment. You're going to need some scissors, um, buttons, not necessary, but they are nice to put in the center of your flower. You can also have some lace if you got little lacy bits, um, or you can even cut, a piece of lace. Once again, not required. You could do a little piece of doily in there. And then you don't have to ink, but I'm trying to make some vintagey ones. So I'm going to distress a little bit with my vintage photo distress oxide. And all right, so the idea here is to punch some circles out of paper. So I'm going to take several because I may not punch through one. You want to do first? I'm going to tear the edges off. Why? Because I save those. If they're new here, I save them because I stamp on them. All right, so I'm going to go do that real quick. I do want to mention that this book is a vintage book and it was about like World War II. So you may see some people's names that we don't really care to talk about anymore. But anyways, I'm going to ink and everything. So we're just going to turn this into something better. Okay, so what was I doing? I was going to take several pages at a time and punch holes in them. Punch holes. Punch circles, Susan. Let's say the right thing. Okay. Oh, too much. Okay, smaller amounts of paper. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to make one real quick, and then I'm gonna fast forward, make some more. Okay, you need a base circle. So I'm gonna find one that is maybe missing. This one has a pencil mark on it. Okay, that's gonna be the base, and then you're gonna take let's see, one. Doing this right. Let's see. I remember how to do this. Okay, so it wasn't this size base. It's a 1 inch base. So I just got some cardstock out because you won't really see this. And we're eventually going to glue on here. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and folded 4 of those 2.5 inch circles. And you're going to get your scissors. I think these will work. All right, so what Pam suggests in her video is so these you're gonna cut like the petals, and so her first type was to start by you're gonna want to cut off the corner, and then you're gonna give it some wavy flower petaliness. And then you want to cut that other corner. All right, so that's one. Oh, this one has more than one. It is. Oh my gosh. I was cutting too. Okay, so looking at the words. All right, we're going to flip it that way. And I just need one more then. And then she has a different technique, so I'll show you that next. All right, so this is a point where you want to ink up. Now she used like for her first one a blue, and then she went back in with some vintage photo. So I'm going to start with vintage photo because it's a project coming up, and it's very vintagey colors. And I'm going to go ahead and get these that are going to kind of stand out in a minute. Oh, maybe. I'll link her video below. So I'm not going to ink the other side because you're not going to see that. All right, so then we're going to take, now she uses Fabri-Tac. You can certainly do that. And we are going to, does she glue that down? I feel like she does. Hang on. You know, I'm terrible at instructions. Hang on. Yes, you're going to want to glue those because otherwise they're going to pop up. So, I mean, I guess I should have just known that. Just the edge up a little bit. Oh, not very far because you're going to zhuzh it up a little bit. That's the technical word. Oh. And then we're going to glue these to the base. All right, now she used, like I said, she used Fabri-Tac. So I'm going to actually put on the first piece here. Well, let's see here. This side too. So where they're kind of touching on the middle here. Okay. And then these two are going to fit in there. Well, did I ink? I don't think I inked all the way around this one. You know, you can totally make this look like, I mean, you know, use the colors that you're crafting with. So you can make pink ones, pink flowers, blue flowers, purple flowers. Okay. And then you're just going to take your finger and, well, first you're going to put the pen back in your glue because we've all been there and I've done that way too many times recently. And you're going to kind of curl up the flower petals. Take that first layer, kind of just zhuzh them in. Okay, and then here's that one. I guess I should show that to you. I may go back with some of the blue, but I may do that at the end. Let's move on. The next one she did was she, built it the same way, but when she got to cutting, she did like, remember back in the day when we cut grass, when you were just that. So she still rounded the ends here. And then she cut, being very careful to not get your fingers. And she described this one as being more like carnation vibes. I don't know if you noticed when I was making the other one, I had to go recut. I don't think I made my little petals deep enough. So I went and recut them. It's round. You could even, after you make this bigger one, you could get some smaller circles of text page and go in there and make an inner layer instead of putting necessarily lace and a button in there. All right, let's fast forward those here. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna do any more inking to this one, but I do like how that one turned out. I didn't add lace because this button with its glitter kind of steals the show there. So yeah, there's that one. But I feel like this one does need, speak correctly, Susan, does need some extra help. So maybe if I ink it up with some blue, that'll add some more interest to it. These, of course, go flat once you put them in your journal, unless you're putting them on the cover. All right. So this is tumbled glass, and I've never, maybe I tested it, but didn't have much on it. Let's see. All right, guys, there they are. I like how they turned out. My favorite's probably the yellow one. I've made these before. I'm pretty sure I have a video. Maybe I'll find that one and link it as well. And when you have, like, if you ever get like an old doily, like, a crocheter, I guess they're crocheted, and maybe you found one that had a stain on it, so you can't get it out or whatever, and so you can cut those little designs out. Those are good to put in here too, or on just a regular old cluster. But I'll link Pam's video as well. Yeah, but these will look great like on a journal top. Now, like I said, and as she mentioned in her video, these will get kind of smushed down once you put them inside a journal. And I think she may have used a smaller circle punch than I did. So you can certainly make these smaller. All right, you guys. I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.